old friend, and she is the president and CEO of the Coral Gables Community Foundation. And they have lots of stuff going on, and they're doing such good work in our community. And so thank you so much for spending the time, because I know you have a packed calendar.
We do.
Before we start, I have to thank South Florida PBS, our sponsor every week. South Florida PBS has a great bunch of new programs coming up. I don't have the November issue yet, but in October, they had The American Buffalo by Ken Burns. I don't know if you got a chance to see that.
I love Ken Burns.
Yeah, me too. Everything Ken Burns does is great. But so many great programs, and they also have allhealthtv.com, which is a great way to get some information on any kind of ailment you might have. And of course, we've got Dr. Leah and the Sex Talk show that everybody loves. So let's get started. Coming up this week.
Yes.
Or is it next week?
Next week.
Next week. Oh, yeah, it's next week. Oh, it's a blur.
Yes.
You've got a wine tasting event.
Yes. Our annual wine auction presented by our friends at Avensky & Katz Foldus Financial. It's a benefit fundraiser for the Coral Gables Community Foundation and our programming and scholarship and grants programs, and it's a wine auction. So we will feature the best from private wine collections here in Coral Gables and the area. It's our 5th year hosting the event, and it's fantastic.
Well, you've got some great donors.
We do.
What do? You go after, you know people who are collectors, and they donate from their collections?
So people donate from their private collections and their private wine cellars and spirits collections. And we're working with some great people on our host committee and wine donors to make this just the best one yet. This is our 5th year hosting the wine auction. And last year it raised more than we ever have, and we're on deck to do the same.
Well, and speaking of raising more than you ever have, oh my goodness, the gala.
The gala was fantastic. Yes, that was about 3 weeks ago. Our Under the Cherry Blossom Sky Gala, it raised more than we ever have in our history, so broke records for us. We had about 420 people at the Lowe's Hotel in Coral Gables. Really fantastic honorees, highlighting them and their contributions as well as our work in the community.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and just beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
The decorations, everything were just spectacular.
That's thanks to our gala co-chairs, Sissy DiMaria Kona and Dr. Sadia Raja.
Right. They know how to do it.
They know how to do it.
Yeah, right. So you've got some great volunteers.
We do.
So, but that's not, let's talk about, you're talking about raising money for your charities. And of course, I know because you support a lot of the stuff I'm involved in.
Yes.
But your scholarship programs, how much do you give out every year?
So it's very robust. We're really proud of that work. Our scholarship programs, we're managing about 20 unique scholarship programs, all with different criteria, different set of rules and all of that. Last year, we awarded nearly $400,000 in college scholarships to local students, mostly from Coral Gables High School, but not all. We have a great group of scholarship review committee members who are made up of leaders from the community and various, institutions and focus areas. Matthew Meehan, a board member of ours, chairs that committee for us.
He does.
Very, very important part of our work. So that will be coming up. The deadline for student applications is going to be the first Friday in March, and then we will award them. Usually it's the first week in May. We'll award them.
And so they just go to gablesfoundation.org to
gablesfoundation.org to see all of the applications and the criteria. And when those open up, it should be open in January. When those open up, the kids can apply, and the more the merrier.
And it's not just one application. Are there applications for different?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know. I remember Cocoa Plum set up a fund with you.
Yes.
And different organizations have a scholarship fund with you.
Different organizations have scholarship funds with us, different families, families and individuals, if they want to remember a family member or they're passionate about, let's say, the arts or supporting future nurses or military, they'll set up a scholarship fund with their specific criteria, and then we help them identify students that are a good fit for that. We have the privilege of managing the scholarship fund also for the Coral Gables Bar Association in memory of Irvin Gonzalez. So that's a scholarship that goes to students who are interested in pursuing a degree in law or government work. So that's great.
Yeah, and people don't understand giving scholarships away is hard.
It is.
It's a job and a half.
It's a lot of work.
So the service that you provide by allowing people to use the community foundation to administer that is incredible.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. It is. We do all of sort of the heavy lifting, right? All of the administrative back office work, and the donors are able to fund it and be involved in meeting the students that receive it and sort of, that aspect of it, but they can leave all of the burdensome work to us.
Yeah, and it is burdensome work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, even giving out, you've got endowment funds, you have pass-through funds, you have field of interest funds, you have all kind of funds, and all of those funds are a responsibility.
They are. We have a big responsibility to our donors and our fund holders. So community foundations and across the country manage donor-advised funds, charitable funds, basically, for individuals, families, nonprofit organizations that are interested in setting up an endowment. They can work with us to sort of outsource that to us and have us manage their endowment funds. We're currently managing about 125 donor-advised funds and endowment funds for local individuals and families. So it's the most we've ever done. It's a great part of our work. It's really the bread and butter for community foundations. We have these great events to raise awareness and bring the community together because the community loves coming together and celebrating. But the real essence of what we do are these charitable funds.
Right. And so if somebody wants to set up a fund with you, how do they go about it? They talk to Robbie or you?
Right, me, or we have a director of philanthropy on our team now, Catherine Katsky. She's fantastic. So myself or Catherine. And so how it works, basically, it's an alternative to a private family foundation, where us at the Community Foundation, we do the annual filing with the IRS and all the compliance with the state of Florida. And the donor receives the tax deduction anytime they put money into the fund, and monies can be put in by cash, transfer of appreciated stock to avoid capital gains. So there's some very attractive things. They receive the tax deduction, and then they advise where they'd like those monies to go, what charities are important to them or causes that matter to them over time. And I would say the biggest benefit of a donor-advised fund versus a private family foundation, and in addition to us doing all of the administrative work, is that the IRS requires private family foundations to disperse a minimum of 5% annually, and there is no such requirement for donor-advised funds.
Exactly.
So that's very attractive to our donors.
Well, of course, because if for any reason
they don't, some years you don't perform as well, or maybe you don't, there's nothing that you're wanting to give to passionately in a year, that's fine.
Yeah. So the other advantage of that's what I wanted to ask you. What is the minimum to set up a donor-advised fund?
We ask for a $10,000 minimum to set up a donor-advised fund. Yeah.
So, do you have a lot of people? Is there a way for people to say, okay, I'd like to set up a fund, but I want to give you a certain amount a month?
Certainly. We will will work with people on that. Absolutely. We have folks that, maybe want to set it up with $2,500 or $5,000, and then we work with them to get to that minimum amount that we like to see in the fund, which is about $10,000. And then at that point, they can start distributing.
Yeah, because I suspect that there are people that say, hey, wait, I don't have the money right now, but I will.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We just had a young person in our community open a fund with $2,500, and he has big plans to grow it, and there's no doubt he will, but we're starting with where he can.
Well, the thing is, especially if you're doing a like something that's for a specific charity, say.
Right.
And a charity can do that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Can start once they have a fund with you, then they have the ability to have a fundraiser.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And they
we
use your
help them.
501c3 in order to do it.
So that's another big service we provide. They're called fiscal sponsorship services or agency funds, where a nonprofit or a cause that's not a nonprofit that maybe doesn't have their 501c3 designation but wants to do fundraising, they partner with us and they come under our umbrella for a specific project or, a campaign they're working on. And then they can utilize our tax deduction, our status, and we help them facilitate donations and provide the tax receipts to their donors and things like that.
So I'm sure, and I think there's probably a lot of people out there that are setting up foundations that probably
don't need to,
shouldn't,
because it is, it's quite. There's a lot of annual requirements and
it's a lot of work.
Expense and work to do it. So using a community foundation is a nice alternative.
Yeah. Well, even to set up your 501c3 and just the expense involved in all of that.
Right.
When you can just say, hey.
Right.
We want to raise money. We want to have fun.
Right. We want to raise money and we want to benefit the cause that we are here to benefit. We don't necessarily want to deal with the administrative burden of all of the requirements and the expense of it. So they can partner with us. And sometimes we've had organizations partner with us and then they find that they really enjoy working with us and they never spin off and get their 501c3 designation. And then we have some that they get big and they have staff and a board and a building and they do spin off. And that's great. Both ways are good. Both ways are good.
Well, look what happened to the Coral Gables Museum.
Exactly. The museum, Bike Walk Coral Gables.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, under your time. And so that's a perfect example of an organization that spun off and they're doing amazing work.
Yeah. And I actually remember doing one that we just helped a nonprofit along. And we said, okay, you can use our 501c3 to apply for grants. And then before they even... they just used it and then they got their grant, but they had already gotten their 501c3 by the time.
Right.
So it's just such a great service.
It is. It's a really great service.
I wish more people understood it.
I know. Thank you for this opportunity to be here today because, our team and our board, we've got a great board of directors and we're really getting the word out about the good work that we're doing at the Coral Gables Community Foundation. And a big part of that is explaining to residents in the community that the services we provide because people don't quite understand, right? Like the services that a community foundation provides is
still after all this time.
I know we're working on it. We're doing good work, but
well, sometimes you start talking about it and people are like they zone out.
That's why I always say it's like imagine people know what a private foundation is, right? So it's the same thing in function, but we're handling all of the back office administrative work.
And what are you charging now?
It depends on the balance of the fund, but generally 1%.
That's what I thought. So there's just nothing.
Yeah, right. It's a lot less than you would pay on an accountant and a bank and all that.
Big time, yeah. So I know there's a couple of things we didn't, I know. Robbie Adams is with you.
Yes.
Said, don't forget Tour of the Kitchens.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, our beloved Tour of Kitchens is back for the 15th year, February 10th, 2024. It's the Tour of Kitchens and Tropical Living presented by Mosaicis. So we're very excited for that installment. So we'll be featuring indoor and outdoor kitchens in Coral Gables. Some of the best private residences. People can peek into them and visit. And while they're in each home, they get to eat and drink. And it's a fantastic event benefiting our work in the community.
It is.
It's really fun.
Great.
It's really fun.
We don't get to know where we're going.
No.
Until after for security reasons.
For security reasons, we do not give out the addresses of the homes, of course, until the day of the tour.
But are you meeting in Merrick Park again?
Yes. So we will.
So everybody gathers at Merrick Park for a big...
Right. Everyone gathers at the shops of Merrick Park between 9 and 10 on the day of the tour to receive their wristband and the addresses of the homes. There we have breakfast, coffee, mimosas. We all gather, say a few words of encouragement. Off you go on the self-guided tour, and the homes are open from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And it's a self-guided tour, so guests go in any order they wish. They visit the homes they wish, and they can, skip some if they want.
Yeah. And what the idea is to hit one location at a time.
Right, exactly.
Because sometimes they're spread around.
Right, they're spread around, and that's intentional, right? Because we want to spread it out. So
Absolutely.
We typically have about 8 to 10 houses on the tour, and then
do you have them all?
Not yet. So if there are any designers out there that want to feature their clients' homes on the tour, please reach out to us.
And it's such a great way for designers to do that.
It's such great exposure for the designers and the appliance companies and the interior designers, the architects. They seem to really like this event for obvious reasons. It's a great way to showcase their work.
Yeah.
To a captivated audience.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so end of the year giving, that's important.
Yes, it's that time of year as we approach the end of the year and folks are looking, whether it may be to fulfill sort of their charitable wishes or the tax deduction if they have had a liquidity event this year.
Right.
And they're looking to decrease their tax burden. It's a good thing to do to contact us. and see about either setting up a donor advised fund and, getting that tax deduction on your monies into your fund, or making a gift directly to the community foundation, tax deductible as well. So we'll be very busy.
Even donating to a fund that already exists.
Oh, absolutely. So we have lots of programs that are doing great work. Our grant making program, our community giving program, that's the effort where we award grants to nonprofits serving our community, and also our scholarship work. So if someone's interested in supporting either of those, please reach out to us. We'd love to work with you on that.
Yeah. And a big thank you to you, because I know Coral Gables Community Foundation made a $5,000 donation to the library to
archives.
Help with our archives.
I'm excited about
Coral
that.
Gables Women's Club Centennial this year.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's very exciting. I want to know more.
A lot of the stuff that they've collected and everything will be part of like a little production they're going to do at the Centennial Gala on December 2nd.
Okay, excellent.
So, yeah. So, okay, what else? You told me something about Give Miami Day, that you're doing something with the Miami Foundation.
We are
Tell me
working
about
with
it.
our good friends at the Miami Foundation to celebrate Coral Gables nonprofits that are participating in Give Miami Day. We have so many wonderful nonprofits in Coral Gables, based in Coral Gables, next door to our offices, right there. And they're all participating in Give Miami Day because it's a great opportunity to raise funds and get your donors excited. So we'll be gathering Coral Gables-based nonprofits for a pep rally, sort of, if you will, the afternoon of Give Miami Day. We'll have refreshments and get together with our nonprofit friends and just kind of celebrate and have the money, the dollars raised on the screen of what our Coral Gables.
And what day is that again?
Will be. It's Thursday, November 16th.
November 16th. Okay. That's good. I think it's on my calendar.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
I'm sure. Okay. We went over, okay. So I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, there's lots to cover.
Except that, so what's coming up in 2024? Do you have, other than the tour of the kitchens?
Yes. No, of course. So on just a holistic side for the foundation, we'll be welcoming a new chairman, Michael Walsh. He's a partner at Evensky and Katz. And so he'll be starting his 2-year term as chair January 1st. We moved into a new office this year, which has been great for the team. So we're in the Fuel building on Aragon Avenue, across from the museum and Books and Books. So we're really enjoying that space.
That's a pretty historic building too, isn't it?
It's a great building.
I love it.
The Fuel family's been good to us, and we welcome our neighbors and friends to come visit us. So we have a lot to celebrate as we're rolling out our strategic plan and implementing very big goals for the foundation as we're growing. You'll see a lot more of us.
Yeah, well, can't help it. Every time you turn around, you're doing
good. I like that. Yeah, no, we've had a great year in 2023. It started the first part of the year. We brought the moon to the Gables with Moon Over the Gables in Ponce Circle Park.
Do we have any art things like that coming
We don't
up?
have any big public art projects lined up. We did Umbrella Sky about 5 years ago, and then the moon this year. So 5 years later, it's a big effort, and we just want to make sure we bring the right project to the community. So we wait for the right one.
The stuff that you've brought has attracted tourists, has helped.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Has helped the business community big time.
No, it's been fun. Both projects, we worked very closely with the city, and it wouldn't have been possible without our partnership with the city. And it's just been great fun. We'll do it again, but we're just definitely going to wait for the right project that is just like a wow project.
Yeah, well, the umbrellas
were awesome, and the moon was just fantastic.
And I know people that along Giralda that said they were, new in business. Well, Steve Bradley with Clutchburger and whatever. I said, oh my gosh, it made it for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was exciting.
So, and then were you involved in the lights?
Oh, Illuminate?
Illuminate
Coral Gables was a good example of a group that we were their fiscal agent. So they used our nonprofit status as their umbrella to fundraise and do all their great work. And so, we were involved in the background, if you will.
So tell me, where do you get the ideas for these great
Well, the Umbrella
projects?
Sky project was, I was doing Leadership Florida, and I was in Pensacola, Florida. 6 years ago, and I saw it there, and I said, oh my gosh, if Pensacola can do this project, we have to bring this project. And it happened to be at the same time that Giralda was opening after that, that very difficult time of construction, and reopening as a pedestrian only street. And so I went to city leadership. At the time it was Mayor Valdez Fowley. He loved it. He said, go, run, do it.
Yeah, right.
And with city staff, Balkis Perez at the time and some other folks, and then the rest is history. Yeah. And then the moon, we were researching, great big public art, lit art through the Illuminate project, and that one just kept standing out to me because of its enormity.
And how did that work? Did everybody? Did you get a good?
Yes, we had 25,000. We had 25,000 pedestrian count during the 3 weeks. So we had it 3 weekends in March of 2023. And we attracted so many people, families, all types of people.
People did picnics.
We had picnics. We had a Howl at the Moon dog event. We had children's reading. We had Mitchell Kaplan and Ron McGill read Goodnight Moon and a book about nocturnal animals. And we had yoga, and we had ballet performances by Sanctuary of the Arts. It was fantastic.
And how did you orchestrate all that?
We have an amazing team. We have a great team at the foundation. I work with amazing people every day.
How many people do you have there now?
We have about 6 people on our team.
It's a good thing.
Yes, I know. For a long time, it was just 2 or 3 of us.
Yeah,
and
just
so
2.
And thanks to our board, we've invested in our team, and we've got a great team.
Yeah. Well, that enables you to do all this.
We work
wonderful
really hard. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. So, well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
We so enjoyed having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and look forward to the wine tasting.
Me too.
Event. Yeah,
Yes.
and I've never been to that rooftop.
Yeah, so it's the rooftop
plaza.
at the plaza.
So that
spectacular, overlooking downtown Miami, downtown Coral Gables, next Thursday, November 9th.
Right. So wine connoisseurs should just go to gablesfoundation.org. I think, is it /wine?
They can just go to gablesfoundation.org and you'll see on our website our events. Tickets are for sale. We'll have an amazing live band. Mama Fuma is their name. They're so incredible. We'll have live dinner stations, open bar. It's really fantastic.
So it'd be a really nice event.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are tickets?
$150 for non-Merrick Society donors, and then for our Merrick Society donors, $100.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yes.
Well, I look forward to seeing you next week there, if not before. We actually have a Halloween party here today. And our producer, what did he say he was dressed as?
A Marvel.
Andres?
A Marvel.
He's got some Marvel. We have so many crazy people around here dressed.
A Marvel guy.
But thank you for visiting me on Halloween.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, you too. And good luck next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Come again soon.
Thank you.
At the beginning of next year, we'll have to do that.
Okay.
For the tour of the kitchens.
Thank you.
So again, thank you to South Florida PBS for being a sponsor. I'm sure you're a member, but if you are a member, you get one of these once a month, and it tells you all the great programming that's going on, and they are just the best resource we have in our community for amazing programs and information. So until next week, have a good one. Make a difference.